Old geezer, you're supposed to stay home. Why are you here, old man? As I headed to the airport for the company trip to Honolulu, a new employee smirked and taunted me. Despite having confirmed my participation, the organizer hadn't prepared my boarding pass. Sorry for the inconvenience. See ya. Ignoring the rebukes of his colleagues, the young man headed to the departure gate, leaving me to sigh and make a phone call. The cheerful young man had no idea yet. He didn't know who I really was, and how this incident would change the course of his life. My name is Mark. I recently turned 50 and experienced my first job change at this age. My new company is a resort management firm. Though the current CEO is the third generation, the company has rapidly grown into a major player in the industry. Due to my age, I joined as a contract employee, but I was grateful to be employed by such a large company. The department I was assigned to was full of young, energetic people. Despite being significantly older than my colleagues, they never showed any sign of discomfort, always ready to help and support each other. It's a very positive work environment. 3 months into my new job, April has arrived. Although I was still busy settling in myself, a new employee joined us. Nice to meet you all. I'm Andy, looking forward to working with you. Andy, a handsome young man, joined our department. Though I'm not sure about these things at my age, he probably falls into the good-looking category by society's standards. With distinct features and a fresh appearance, he seemed promising. Standing next to him was another department's manager, Tony. Actually, Andy is my nephew. Please take care of him. It turned out Andy was a classic case of nepotism. Tony's introduction left our colleagues a bit confused, but they responded politely. Despite his connections, Andy seemed bright and communicative. He seemed capable and quick to grasp things, so I thought he would learn the job quickly. However, that assumption was soon shattered. Hey Andy, weren't you supposed to finish this by today? Was I? I don't recall hearing that. I told you this morning. The deadline was also in the internal email. Oh, I didn't see it. Sorry. Sorry doesn't cut it. We need to contact the client now. Well, there's nothing I can do, so I'll leave it to you. What? Andy. What? I apologized. But isn't it a senior's job to fix a junior's mistakes? Are you serious? The exchange between Andy and his female supervisor left the department in shock. You know, if you say anything to me, who knows what Tony will say? You might even get fired. Andy, who had initially been bright and eager, revealed his true colors within a month, using Tony's name as a shield for his arrogant behavior. He behaved arrogantly towards everyone, pushed his mistakes and menial tasks onto his seniors, and left promptly at the end of the workday. The remaining employees were left to clean up his mess and work overtime. The female employee, unsure how to respond to the mention of Tony's name, hesitated. Well then, I'll leave it to you. See you tomorrow. Andy said with a triumphant grin as he stood up. Andy. I couldn't help but call out to him, placing a hand on his shoulder. What is it? That's enough, don't you think? Ha? Sure, it's a senior's job to help a junior fix their mistakes. But, Andy, you forgot the deadline, right? Shouldn't you be the one to apologize to the client first? Ha? The senior's help comes after that. First, you need to apologize properly, Andy. I tried to gently admonish Andy, but it didn't get through to him. What's with you, acting all high and mighty for an old man? He muttered this and quickly left. Mark, I'm sorry. No, I'm the one who should apologize. I tried to be careful with my words, but it seems they didn't have any effect. No, thank you for addressing Andy. He doesn't listen to me at all, probably because I'm a woman. Hearing the female employee's sigh, I pondered what to do next. However, from the next day, Andy seemed to hold a grudge against me for reprimanding him and started challenging me. Hey, I heard you're a new employee just like me, old man? He somehow learned that I had joined the company not long before him and began mocking me. Andy, even if we are both new employees. Yeah, I get it. Just shut up, you old geezer. Anytime I tried to say something, he'd cut me off with a laugh, refusing to listen. This behavior extended to other employees as well, as he started openly using Tony's name and acting even more arrogantly. to the point where colleagues began whispering about his unbearable conduct. Time passed with this kind of atmosphere, and the company planned a trip for the employees. The destination was Hawaii. It was a trip partly to scout a new branch location. Traditionally, the newest employees were in charge of organizing the trip. Andy. Yes? I plan to join the company trip. Sure, got it. I informed Andy, who was the organizer for our department, about my participation. To my surprise, he accepted it with a smile. I had expected to be mocked for wanting to join the trip as an old man, but his reaction was unexpectedly positive. Although this put me at ease, I felt a bit suspicious. Perhaps something good had happened, putting him in a good mood. Despite my concerns, I didn't want to create unnecessary trouble, so I convinced myself it was fine. However, on the day of the trip, I headed to the airport at the scheduled meeting time. Seeing me, Andy laughed mockingly. "Why are you here, old man?" "What? I told you I was joining, didn't I?" "Oh, did you?" Andy, unable to hide his grin, finally burst out laughing. "Sorry, my bad. I must have misunderstood. I didn't think an old man like you would want to go to Hawaii, so I didn't get you a ticket." However, Andy continued laughing, as if finding the whole situation amusing. "Old geezers like you should stay behind and work." "What? Ha, it's hilarious that you came all the way here thinking you could join. What a joke. You should have double-checked." I rushed to the counter to see if there was anything they could do, but the flight was fully booked. And all other flights were also full due to the holiday. I had no choice but to give up on the trip. As Andy had said, I should have double-checked. Given his usual behavior, I should have anticipated that he might pull something like this. His cheerful demeanor was probably due to his anticipation of this prank. I had been fooled. That's the simple truth. Feeling defeated, I returned to find that other colleagues had been reprimanding Andy. "Andy, this was too much. It's not funny. Yeah, this isn't just a joke. We all heard Mark tell you he was joining, and you acknowledged it. You did this on purpose, didn't you? Come on, it was just a little mistake by a new employee." "Oh, hey, old man. Did you find a seat?" "No, right? It's a holiday weekend, after all. Sorry for the trouble." "Well then, see you later." Andy, still smirking, headed towards the security checkpoint, leaving me behind. Though my colleagues expressed their concern, there was nothing to be done with no seats available. "Don't worry about me, just enjoy the trip." "Mark. I'm so sorry. We should have double-checked as well." "It's okay. Look, you all should get going. Time is running out. We really are sorry. We'll make sure to talk to Andy about this. And we'll bring you back lots of souvenirs. Really, don't worry about it." "Thank you. Have a great trip." I saw them off with a smile. After they left, I sat on a bench near the departure gate and pulled out my phone. After making a call, I grabbed the handle of my suitcase. Half a day later, I was sitting in a hotel lobby, drinking coffee with my wife, Nancy. Suddenly, I heard a commotion and looked up to see my colleagues entering the lobby. "Mark?" Someone noticed me and several of them voiced their surprise. Among them, Andy was particularly shocked and quickly ran over to me. "What are you doing here? How are you even here?" He pointed his finger at me. His loud questioning drew the attention of everyone in the lobby. "Andy, it's inappropriate to raise your voice in public," I said, standing up and lowering his hand. "Didn't your parents teach you not to point at people?" "Huh? That's not important right now. Why are you here?" He spat, practically foaming at the mouth in frustration. Just then, someone rushed over and forcibly made Andy bow his head. "I'm terribly sorry. Truly, I'm sorry. Executive Director. Mark, please forgive us." "What? Executive Director? Tony, what are you talking about?" "Andy, shut up." "Mark, this is all my fault for not properly educating him. I sincerely apologize." It was Tony who had made him bow. Hearing Tony's words, the others turned to look at me. "What? Executive Director? Mark? But I thought he was a contract employee. What's going on? Everyone started murmuring. No way. The executive director you were talking about is. Yes, it's Mark. No way. But he's just a new employee like me, right? Andy, even now, you dare to speak like that. Mark. I apologize again. Please forgive us. Andy looked at me with disbelief in his eyes, and I returned his gaze silently. What's all this commotion about? Mr. Johnson, good to see you. Mr. Johnson, the CEO, appeared. Oh, Nancy, it's been a while. Indeed, it has. Thank you for always taking care of Mark. I'm sorry for any trouble this has caused. No, it's nothing at all. Sorry for any worry we caused. Please, take it easy and enjoy your time in Hawaii. Thank you for your kindness. Mark, I'm sorry about this. No need to worry. I actually appreciate you letting me bring Nancy along. Thank you. No problem. It was good that you contacted me directly. As I chatted warmly with Mr. Johnson alongside Nancy, one of the employees timidly approached. Mr. Johnson? Can I ask you something? Sure, what is it? Is it true that Mark is an executive director? Oh, I see, I hadn't informed everyone. Yes, this is Mark, our executive director. He used to be the manager of a famous hotel in Hawaii and we were classmates in college. When we started a new project, I knew I had to bring him on board, so I personally recruited him. Officially, he's been working as a contract employee to get a feel for the company's atmosphere and identify any issues. So, that's what it was. Yes. Mark even volunteered to guide this company trip. When I heard he didn't have a boarding pass, I had him join me on my private jet. I had lived in Hawaii for many years. After getting married here, my wife and I had a special connection to the place. When I told Kyle, the CEO, that I was returning to Japan, Nancy decided to come with me despite her initial hesitation. It was our first time back in Hawaii in a while. I had offered to guide the company trip myself, and not showing up would have caused trouble. So, right after leaving the airport, I called Kyle. Nancy, who was supposed to come on a later flight, ended up joining me on the private jet. Since we hadn't done any sightseeing upon arrival, we reached the hotel before my colleagues. Andy, is it? Yes, Mr. Johnson. Mark had informed you that he was participating, yet you didn't arrange a boarding pass? I've heard from other employees that you did this deliberately. Why? I'm sorry. I'm asking for the reason. And you should apologize to Mark, not me. Andy hesitated before beginning to speak in a low voice. It turned out he was jealous that, despite starting around the same time, I was relied upon by everyone. And when I was reprimanded for my attitude, it made me even angrier. You behaved poorly because you used your Uncle Tony's name to act arrogantly, right? Kyle pressed him further, which surprised Tony even more. Andy. What does that mean? Tony demanded, stepping closer. Apparently, Tony had been unaware that Andy was using his name as a shield. After hearing from other employees about Andy's various misdeeds, Tony reprimanded him harshly and apologized to everyone. I'm truly sorry. I don't have any authority over personnel decisions and certainly can't fire anyone. It was all fabricated by Andy. It's my fault for neglecting him, thinking he was doing fine. I'll make sure to discipline him strictly from now on. Please don't give up on him. I'm very sorry for causing such discomfort to everyone. Andy, apologize to everyone. I'm very sorry, Andy stammered. I deeply apologize for causing such a commotion, Mr. Johnson. Tony, gripping Andy by the collar and glaring at him fiercely, made Andy shrink back in fear. Though it was his own fault, Andy was thoroughly intimidated. I'll decide their punishment later. For now, everyone, please enjoy the trip, Mr. Johnson said, clapping his hands a few times to lighten the mood. The tension eased, and everyone visibly relaxed. The next morning, despite the lingering sleepiness from jet lag, we climbed Diamond Head, an optional activity for those interested. The trail had rest areas and railings, making it accessible. Even those who didn't seem particularly fit were enjoying the climb. After about 40 minutes of hiking, we reached the summit after climbing the final stairs. Everyone gasped in awe. Wow, it's so beautiful. This is amazing. To the west, we saw the cityscape of Waikiki, to the east, Hanauma Bay and the nearby Coco Head. To the north was the famous Tantalus Hill, and looking south, the vast Pacific Ocean stretched endlessly. The 360-degree view from the summit was breathtaking, leaving everyone speechless. Those visiting Hawaii for the first time were particularly moved. Among them, Andy stood out, eyes wide with amazement. We continued to enjoy traditional Hawaiian activities, including beach outings and shopping at Ala Moana Center. However, throughout the trip, Andy seemed pensive, deep in thought. I considered checking on him, wondering if he was feeling unwell, but worried that speaking to him might only provoke him. That night, we went stargazing, lying on the grass to gaze at the expansive night sky. Seeing a sky full of stars, which couldn't been seen in Japan, deeply moved everyone, and I was glad they could experience Hawaii's charm. Glancing at Andy, I noticed him quietly crying while looking at the stars. "Andy, can I talk to you for a moment?" "Ha?" I led him to a secluded spot and handed him a handkerchief. "You've had a gloomy face all day. Did something happen?" "No, it's just that spending the day experiencing Hawaii's amazing nature and interacting with people. I was enchanted by the different pace and the warmth of the locals. It made me realize how vast the world is and how small I am. Watching the stars tonight, I was overwhelmed with emotions, and before I knew it, I was crying uncontrollably." "Andy." "Mark." "Yes? I've said and done terrible things to you and everyone else. I'm truly sorry. I realized how shallow and pathetic I've been. Fixating on trivial matters and letting jealousy cloud my judgment. I know it's too late to apologize, and I don't expect forgiveness. But I want to sincerely apologize. I'm really sorry. Andy. It's enough that you understand. If you convey those feelings, everyone will understand too." I decided to accept Andy's heartfelt apology. The next day, Nancy and I went to visit our daughter, Lily. When we returned to Japan, Nancy came with me, but Lily chose to stay in Hawaii with her husband and child. She now runs a cafe. Lily. Dad. Mom. At the cafe, we found Lily, tan from the Hawaiian sun, and our 3-year-old granddaughter, Emily. "Emily. It's been a while. It's Grandpa and Grandma." Although Emily usually speaks English, she can also converse in Japanese because Lily speaks it. At first, she looked puzzled upon seeing our faces after such a long time. But when she heard the words Grandpa and Grandma, she broke into a big smile and ran over to us. "Grandpa. Grandma." Lily's husband, with his deep-set features, made Emily look quite different from us. But her small hands hugging us tightly and her growth over the past year brought tears to my eyes. "Grandpa. Grandma. I missed you. I love you. Thank you. We missed you too, Emily. We love you." The phrase "cherish as if they were your own eyes" must have been coined for moments like this. Everything about her was incredibly precious and lovable. We enjoyed a meal together, relishing the time spent with Emily. About 15 minutes later, as Emily went to the restroom, a few familiar faces entered the cafe. "Oh, Mark. Hey, did you all come for a meal?" "Yes, we heard this place is great." "Well, it is. My daughter runs this place. Make yourselves at home." "Really? That makes it even more exciting." Among them was Andy. After the previous incident, he went around apologizing to his other colleagues, promising to never again display such arrogant behavior. He was forgiven on the condition that he sincerely dedicate himself to his work. Today, it seemed he had been invited to join for a meal. He looked both nervous and excited. Lily led them to a table. Meanwhile, Emily came running back from the restroom and nearly fell. Instinctively, Andy caught her. Emily looked up at him and said, "Thank you," then, staring at him, her face turned bright red. "Emily, are you okay?" "Andy, thank you for helping her. She's my granddaughter. It's nothing. Are you okay, Emily? Did you get hurt?" Unexpectedly, Andy gently spoke to Emily. Then Emily, looking completely enchanted, exclaimed, "Danny." She hugged Andy tightly. "What? Emily? Emily, let go of him. You're troubling Andy." "No. Danny." It seemed Emily had developed a crush on Andy for rescuing her and didn't want to let go. Hearing the commotion, Lily's husband came out and tried to help pull Emily off Andy, but Emily clung to him, pressing her face against him and refusing to let go. Andy, though troubled, seemed to understand that he couldn't just pry a small child away. He gently patted Emily's head, and I couldn't help but quip, "Andy, I won't forgive you for this." What I meant was, how dare you charm Emily? But somehow Andy misunderstood. "I will follow you, Mark. I've turned over a new leaf. I respect you. Even if you don't forgive me, I won't give up," he responded, missing the point entirely. I could only hold my head in my hands. Nancy and Lily burst into laughter at our exchange, and the situation became uncontrollable. In the end, Lily kicked both Andy and me out of the cafe, saying we were disrupting business. Emily's exclamation of "Danny" echoed in my ears. Despite this small incident, the company trip concluded successfully. We all returned to Japan. And I started working in earnest as an executive director, not just as a contract employee. I was put in charge of a new hotel project in Hawaii. As an executive director, I became the project leader and had a team of subordinates. Among them was Andy, who had volunteered for the position. Although still a new employee with many menial tasks, I worried he might cause trouble again. However, he seemed genuinely reformed, working diligently without complaint, showing great potential. However, thinking about Emily always brought a hint of frustration. I won't let Emily marry him. I often thought to myself, feeling a bit possessive. But Andy's admiring gaze was unwavering. And I was the only one feeling this one-sided rivalry. A few years later, we successfully opened the hotel in Hawaii, and Andy, now a promising young employee, was assigned to work there. Since that time, Andy had not caused any problems and had stayed true to his promise of working sincerely. His dedication earned him increasingly responsible roles, and before I knew it, he was on the verge of a major promotion. At Andy's farewell party, he approached me. "Mark." "Yes? What's up?" "I owe everything to you. Being able to go to Hawaii, having this farewell party. It's all thanks to you. Thank you so much. Come on. You're going to Hawaii and having this party because you worked hard and changed. It's your own merit. Be confident. Thank you." That company trip to Hawaii completely changed my perspective on life. Even though all my problems were self-inflicted, you comforted me instead of condemning me. Your kindness moved me, and I decided I wanted to follow you. You've taught me so much since then. Never giving up on me despite my terrible behavior. You were the first to really confront me, and I owe you everything. Thank you so much. Seeing the sincerity in Andy's eyes, I no longer saw the arrogant young man he once was. I also had my life changed in Hawaii. You did? Yes. The vast nature and the slow pace of life felt incredibly luxurious. That time, I stayed for only 2 nights. But it made me realize how small my worries and jealousy were. It inspired me to work in Hawaii, hoping to share that experience with others. That's how I got into the hotel business. I see. People who come to Hawaii all have smiles on their faces. Even those who arrive looking gloomy come back with bright smiles after stepping outside. It's an incredible transformation, don't you think? Yes. I felt the same way. Everyone is captivated by Hawaii. That's why I believe you'll succeed in this new venture, Andy. I've taught you everything I know, so go out there and do your best. Yes. Thank you. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing. What? I'm also retiring early and moving to Hawaii. What? I need to keep an eye on you and make sure you don't make a move on my granddaughter. Plus, I want to see you succeed up close. I was entirely serious, but Andy started laughing, then began to cry. I'll do my best. He responded with a tearful smile, and I nodded warmly. After the farewell party, Andy moved to Hawaii. And I retired and also relocated there. One evening, I sat at home with a beer, gazing at the stars. I felt a bit guilty for dragging Nancy along, but she was enthusiastic about the move. Nancy, who had always loved Hawaii, quickly started looking for a house near Lily's place, which made me laugh. We successfully moved near Lily's house and were now enjoying a leisurely lifestyle. The vast night sky stretched out above me, and I felt a deep sense of joy knowing that someone might be looking at this same sky and having their life perspective changed. The hotel business was beginning to thrive, gaining a great reputation, and Andy was reportedly doing well. His English, which was rough at first, had improved to the point where he could handle daily conversations and work-related discussions. His occasional messages were filled with the challenges and joys of his work. It had been a life full of various experiences. But I had no regrets about anything I had done. And even though I had retired, there was still so much life ahead of me. There were still new discoveries to be made. With Emily and Andy, and many things I still wanted to do and try. Oh, this is rare. Stargazing with a drink? Just for a change. Nancy sat down next to me. She poured herself a beer and we quietly toasted. Something on your mind? Just thinking about Andy. Oh, Andy? You've always had a special interest in him. Yeah, I was just thinking I need to keep him away from Emily. Are you still holding a grudge about that? Emily will have many experiences in her life. She'll probably just see Andy as one of those memories. I hope you're right. When someone experiences a life-changing moment, like Andy did, their actions can determine their future. I'm glad Andy realized that back then. I genuinely believe that. As I finished my beer, I hoped that if Andy ever encountered someone like his former self in his work, he would be the one to help them. I felt a sense of peace as I thought about the future.